This activity is available at mrhen.com.
So follow along as we go. We're going to basically do A through M on this first line. We'll start right over here and do an A. Remember to make it nice and wide and put your cross piece below center. Give yourself just a little bit of space. Don't space it out too much, just a little bit. Remember on the B, you start with an L. Then your cross piece in the middle, a smaller top, and a wider, larger bottom. All right. Notice the space that you gave between the A and the B. Try to match that space when you do the C. This is going to become an important part of writing in Draftsman lettering. You need to pay attention not just to the letters you're doing, but also the space between them. And we're going to do a semicircle to the left, and then finish out the top and the bottom of the C. Notice the space between the B and the C. You're going to mimic that when you come down for the D. You're going to draw a vertical line down, turn it into an L, and then create the D. At this point in the game, please make sure you're doing the L. All right. Again, pay attention to the space between your letters and begin your E. It's going to be an L. The middle cross piece is going to be shorter, and the one at the top is almost going to be as wide as the one at the bottom, but each one is a different length. All right, we'll move over a little bit, and let's do our F, just like the E, but without the base. Again, pay attention to the space between your letters. Let's move over and do the G. You're going to do a semicircle to the left. Again, try to make it look like half of a circle. Then the front portion of the G actually looks flat and then cuts back, and you can finish out the top portion. Go for our H. Make sure when you do the H that you get your vertical elements nice and wide so they look like they fit in a square, and drop your cross piece below center. It should line up with the cross piece of the A. And I made mine a little bit dramatically wide. It looks, I know, it's a little overdone. That's all right. Now, this is very interesting because an I will still have the same amount of space, like between the G and the H, so I want to match that, but it's going to look like it takes up less room because it's just a vertical line. All right, now our J, I will start with the curved part here just so that I make sure that my spacing looks even. So I do the little smiley face first and then the vertical line down for the J. All right, for our K, again, paying attention to your space between your letters, a vertical down, and then it looks like a tipped over T that bumped into an I. Let's do the L, a vertical and a horizontal base. And then for our M, do your M very much like you do your H, two verticals. Pay attention to the middle, at the bottom, and then draw your diagonals down. And now we're done with the first row. Okay, we're only going A through M on the first row. We're going to skip the next line, and then below the A, we're going to put our N. So you're going to do two vertical lines and a diagonal between. Our O should be beneath the B. We're going to do a semicircle left and a semicircle right. We'll do the P. A P starts just like the F. Make sure you do that middle piece before you do the top portion. Come out nice and wide. It's going to feel a little weird if you do it correctly because we don't usually draw our P's that way. All right. We're going to do our Q, semicircle left, semicircle right, and a diagonal in the lower right corner. Our R is going to be just like the P we did. But then when you do the diagonal, do not connect it back to the vertical piece. You need to have the gap in there. All right, I'm going to do my S, but before I do, I'm just going to put just a little bit of a dash right there, and that's going to help me have a little bit of an anchor point for the middle of the S. So you can do that if it helps you. It definitely helps me. And then we'll do the top portion. It kind of levels out there in the middle, and then the bottom portion should be a little bit wider than the top. And our T should be underneath our G. We're going to do the vertical line and the horizontal across the top. Our U happens right underneath the H, and you can actually use the vertical parts of the H to help you with the U because it lines up the same. And then just do the smiley face down at the bottom. All right, now our V, I'm going to put 2 dots there, and I'm actually looking at the U to tell how far apart that V should be, and then a dot down at the bottom and connect the diagonals. All right, I'm going to do the same thing for the W. I'm going to see how far apart the top should be. Then I'm going to put a dot in the middle and drop dots down here and connect the diagonals. And now as we get away from doing this inside a box, I am completely happy if you just do an X that looks like it would fit in a square. All right, move on to our Y. Get a nice wide V that goes halfway down, and then the base. And finally the Z, and when I do the Z, I'll usually do the horizontal elements and then connect them diagonally. Okay, we're going to skip our next line, and we're going to start with our numerals. Obviously, a 0 is the exact same as an O, semicircle left, semicircle right. I'm not going to put the slash, the diagonal line in there, but you can if you want to. All right, our 1 is just a vertical line, just like the I. You can put a tick mark up at the top if you want to differentiate it from the I. All right, our 2, I'm going to treat it just like I did the S. I'm going to put a little dash in here. And that just gives me something to kind of anchor my marks to. Right. Our 3 is going to be very much like our 8. The top is going to be a little smaller than the base. Our 4, we're going to do a vertical line down, our cross piece just below center, and then a diagonal to connect them. You can do a little overhang if you like to. Our 5, I typically start with this vertical down, but I am going to put a little dash piece right in there just to get started. And then I'll bring the vertical down to it. Nice big base. And a horizontal across the top. Now, I don't think I explained this the first time we went around, but this portion of the 6 should be the same size as the 8. Okay, so think about that as you do this. This is sort of the same shape as the base of your 8, and then you just do a curved piece down to meet up with it. All right, our 7 will start with a horizontal line up at the top. Bring your diagonal down. Remember, the foot of your 7 should be slightly across the midpoint. All right, we'll go with our 8. And early on, you're going to do a backwards kind of a 3 to the left. And then finish it by doing a forwards 3. Connect it. And then our 9 is an upside down 6. So you kind of take what would be the base of the 8 and you make it float up at the top. and then do a curved line down. And our final thing is going to be our ampersand. We're going to start at the top, curve down to a diagonal. It looks like a tipped over J, upside down J. And then we're going to roll this part back and up. Okay, now there are 6 remaining lines. You're going to skip a line and you're going to repeat what we just did. So you're going to get one more practice run in, and then you'll be done with this activity.
If you're interested in this or other activities, you can go to mrhin.com. We have all kinds of great things to find the Draftsman lettering. You're going to go to the curriculum, click on the 5 for 5th grade art, and then you can see all of the items we have here. Exercises 1 and 2 are completely free. You would just click on the one you want, add to the cart, go to checkout. You just need to enter a little bit of information, but there is no charge. Once you continue, you will get a receipt, and on the receipt there is a link for you to download the item. Okay, I hope that helps, and as always, have a great day.